Hello there, Capricorn. Welcome to Pirate Readings. I'm Lady J, and I'm here to talk to you about November. November is going to have 4 weeks in it, and we are not doing an overview. Last month in October, I really did the overviews, and they seemed really quite long. And so I've decided to maybe eliminate the overview. If that really upsets you, please comment below, let me know. But we're going to go ahead and do it without an overview. We're just going to do each week as an individual with an individual deck. We are going to keep doing the new layout, which has the 12, loosely based on the 12 houses of the astrological chart. And I'm very excited to see how this works out for you. I have a couple of messages from my better angels for you that are pretty poignant. So I'm going to talk about it right now. We are indeed looking at the truth, which is that we are all one people. We are all, the human race is all one. And we need to sort of keep focused on that truth so that we can push ourselves forward in a very pleasant way, right? So especially in this month of November, it's going to be really important to remember that we're going to look for similarities with our neighbors and our friends and our people, and focus less on the differences, right? Differences are differences, but all they do is separate us. So we want to focus in on the similarities. We want to feel or understand their feelings. Seek to understand your neighbor, right? If only to understand their feelings, because their feelings are what's important, really not why they're having those feelings. I know that sounds a little weird, but if we focus on the whys, we'll end up divided again. So if we can just focus on that they're having feelings and express to them how we understand that they're having those feelings and we're sorry, right? Or they're having those feelings and congratulations. Ta-da! So then, you know, you can express those things without it being an overcommitment to any one thing. And we don't have to explain away their pain. It's good. We're all one. And those people will hopefully pick up what we're doing because we're being peace. We are not being reactive. We're not getting too excited about anything, and that's really cool. We want to stay in that chillaxed space. And I think that that's going to be a benefit to all, right? So it's very good. We want to really focus in on that kind of an opportunity this month. And I'm going to light you a candle right now. This one is all about meditation. So it smells like cedarwood and balsam. Yay! Yay for me. Sorry you can't smell it yet. We're working on that smell-o-vision, all right? But we're not there yet. But here you go. That's that meditation candle. Dun, dun, dun. I'm going to leave it right over here. And we'll go on ahead and get into the reading, all right? Ta-da! No cards. Normally, we have something laid out by now. I'm going to go ahead and lay out all these cards. We are going to be doing all 12 houses. So there will be 12 cards to begin with, and that is going to be the first round of where we are for the week, right? And then the second round, which will be, make it 24 cards, will be what's blocking you, potentially. I have noticed that my better angels are saying, that's not really a block right there. So sometimes the card that comes up isn't a blocker, it's just another card explaining more information. We'll take cues from my guides and figure out what that means in each individual case. But the third round of cards is going to be all about how, what our solutions are for that particular week or for that particular area, right? The houses or departments. I tend to call them departments because I just do. So yes, we are. This is that deck that's called the Wild Unknown Tarot. So that's fun. I really like this deck. It's very sweet and special. So we're continuing on with it. I have no new decks this month. I just removed one deck, and it was okay. It needed. I only have 4 weeks, so we didn't need all 5 decks. That's pretty cool. But we are definitely going to get into this. I'm always looking forward to hearing feedback from all y'all about whether or not you're liking this, if it's too much, if it's too little, if it doesn't tell you anything you want to know, or if it's too general or too specific. Whatever you're feeling or experiencing about this, please give me some feedback. Let me know. I won't know if you don't tell me. All right? So let's go ahead and look at what we have going on. What's going on with yourself? Ta-da. That's the first area we're looking at in this wonderful place. And what is happening with you inside your head right now is, Capricorn, we are looking at the fact that you're looking for ways and means to make more money. There's parts of you that are just kind of focused in that space. So you're hoping to hear new things on the regular. So you just have a constant little search engine in your noggin that's always keeping your ear open. You're like, hey, did I hear something about ways and means to make more money? So it's not a bad focus. It keeps you sane and straight and grounded for sure. High Priestess is here to show me that your intuition is really going to be spot on. So everywhere you go, you can trust your intuition this particular week. Your intuition is going to be your gut reaction to a certain situation. If you feel like this opportunity or that opportunity is good and right, then do it. You're also looking for justice this week. So things coming out in a direction where things are balancing and looking fair, right, is going to be something very cool. It's important to know that how that's going, and be aware that you're going to be looking for fairness wherever you go. You want things to balance out and be correct and be as they should be this particular week. So if there's anything out of balance, it's going to be glaring and frustrating for you, all right? Sorry, but that's just how it's reading. Let's talk about your money department. What's going on with your money? The Queen of Swords. You are bossing up in that area. You are ready to take hold of that situation and say, okay, I see this area. I see maybe a prick hole in my bag of holding, my bag of money, and there's a little hole and I see stuff leaving, so I need to make sure that I shore it up, put a little duct tape on that, and get it straightened away, all right? You're definitely paying attention to what's going on with your money and doing whatever needs to be done to take care of that, all right? Standing up for your ideas in this situation, we have the Seven of Wands is blocking you. So you're not going to be able to get people to come to your way of thinking right now. It's blocking. It is not a help to you to use a convincing argument. Nobody wants to hear what you have to say right now. So you'll have to just take care of your money on your own, okay? It's a thing, but it's frustration, all right? Two of Swords is your solution, which is not to be afraid, okay? Don't be afraid about what's going on. It's going to be all right, okay? I think that what's going on here could be just an opportunity for you to regroup and understand where you're at and what you've been doing, and what needs to change about what you've been doing, all right? Cool. So let's talk now about communication, all right? What's going on with your communication? Ooh, we have the Death card, which simply states that your communications have not been going well. There may be a method of communicating that you need to let go of, I'm going to say, so that this is all about, maybe if you've been emailing with somebody, maybe you need to cut off communication with somebody, right? Because it's just turned sour and gone kind of nutso. And without proper documentation, there's no way for you to use this information to help yourself, okay? So we might need to just stop talking to somebody, and it will help you, all right? This card here is talking about how fighting for your power in this conversation will only make it worse. So one more time, making this conversation into an argument or a bigger argument or continuing the argument makes it worse. You're just adding gasoline to the fire, okay? So we want to not do that. We want to pull back from that opportunity so we can move forward, all right? The Six of Cups is really interesting here because it shows that in your releasing this conversation, you will find ways and means to give from your heart. Instead of from all this anger and irritation and frustration, there will be a healing situation that can happen for you. If the communication stops, you will find a way to do something that you want to do from your heart to help mend the situation without it being like, let's just not talk about it and I'll just give you this, right? And I'll just do this because I want to do this. this is what I want to do, and I'm going to do this. So it isn't about having an argument about it. You just want to do what you want to do instead of being told what to do. So not surprising. Okay. So what's going on here in your family department, huh? So we have a marriage of ideas about what's going on and what you're planning within your family, within your situation around your family. You're coming to some understandings, and that's kind of cool. All right. And King of Cups will be blocking the situation, so there will be an emotionally based male energy person that will stand in the way of harmony. So interesting. Somebody else is going to want to make some sort of fuss about what you guys are working on, wanting to be heard. This isn't, it feels like somebody slightly outside of the family itself, but somebody disagrees and they're going to say blah, 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 and it's going to make a whole bunch of stuff happen. But they're a block to the harmony that's coming out, right? But it looks like you're going to disregard that person and you're going to end up in a wonderful space where harmony and joy and happiness reside, because this is like a party. This is a gathering of like-minded people enjoying the benefits of sharing love and camaraderie and happiness, and it's good. I really love seeing that for you, because it definitely means that this marriage of ideas, which is the meeting of minds, coming together, coming up with a big plan, and it's working. It's coming out right. Okay? Very nice. I like that very much. So now we're going to go over here and talk about your passions. What is that stuff that drives you and makes you happy to be a human being in the world? It is our personal passions that bring us to this place, and it's wonderful news. We want to stay with that. You're going to need to remember past relationships and lessons you learned in past relationships as you move forward with whatever this personal passion is for you. It could be your behaviors in those past relationships are most relevant, so that you don't repeat your old behaviors in new relationships. Okay, so your relationships might be your passion. So and how you relate to people is going to be what works. Okay, so let's talk about now what's blocking you in this department. All right, trying to make a perfect relationship in this department is going to be difficult. So you're remembering old relationships and lessons you learned, but this person that you're working with isn't necessarily ready for a solid relationship, or maybe they're having their own memories. So there's an interesting mix between this potential relationship situation, and it very interesting to see it here blocking you. I'm not sure they want to like mate for life, so to speak. That's what geese do. But it's important to realize that it's an opportunity for you to learn the lessons and certainly talk to this person in a new way, in a different way than you have before. Breaking the old cycles for sure, and the old tapes you've taught yourself about who you are and what's supposed to happen in that relationship. But you have an opportunity to come to this relationship in a new way and speak your words in a different way. And I wish you luck. All right, I don't see this acting necessary, but I don't see this person as right on board. I think they're remembering that past relationship too, but they're remembering it differently or the same. So that's why you're having to work so hard to win them over, right? They're just not going to go for it right away. You're going to have to work a little harder than average, and I think that's probably appropriate. Daughter of Cups, the Page of Cups, new information about things that you care about are coming up. So you are definitely having an opportunity to gain more information about your relationships and how you interact in those relationships, and maybe make new decisions and move forward in this situation. So there's a lot of change happening here for you in this situation, but it may be too late. All right, so I'm just saying, don't get your hopes up too much in your passions department. this isn't even your relationship department. We have a whole relationship department. We'll see what happens up there, but we're definitely seeing that you have hope of being able to alter the situation, but it might be too little too late. All right? So now we're going to talk about what's going on in the work department, work and health. All right? What is happening to you in your work and health? Things are speeding up very fast. So you are just about to go super busy and crazy at work. So let that be understood and prepared for, right? You want to be prepared for that situation. I think that it's going to be kind of interesting for you. We have the Tower showing us that at this time, things falling apart in another area of your life or in another situation could distract you from work. Okay, so you might be distracted from work by something else that's kind of imploding around, either around your house or around your relationships or around your life and your family or whatever. So you might have a major distraction from just focusing on work. Okay, and this is an opportunity for you to sabotage yourself. Yeah, so if you choose to go with work, you might be sabotaging yourself. And if you choose to go with family, you might be sabotaging yourself. This is really feeling like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't situation, because you might lose your job if you hang out with your family and take care of that, but you also might lose your family if you go to work. Okay? So if you can find a happy medium in there, maybe clarify with work that this is a family emergency and you got to take care of it, then you can hopefully not implode your whole life. Your family is forever. Your job, you were looking for a job when you found that one. So I'm just keeping it real on that situation. But let's talk about your health, all right? This is your health, your fitness, your whatever you're working on physically for yourself. Something is going on very quickly at this time that is going to be surprising. It'll happen very quickly with your health. So this could be a very good thing or it could be a very bad thing. So just be aware. So this could be the announcement of, I mean, it's rarely what I'm getting is it's going to be a major change within your health and family, all right? So it could be your own personal physical, it's probably your own physical personal health, where you get some sort of information that kind of is jarring. Okay, your cholesterol is high. You might want to change that. Stuff like that. Okay, so something will happen very quickly that will change your perception of your health. Maybe you finally crawl up that staircase that you used to run up, and you get up there and you're huffing and you're puffing and you're like, oh, oh, I think I know what's happening here. And you need to change something. But the Tower here is going to be blocking you. So if something isn't accepted, if you don't accept the possibility of the change, something could definitely fall apart for you, okay? So be cautious and be careful. You definitely want to use both handrails and hang on tight as you're walking up and down those stairs, because something could change dramatically. And you might end up, you know, hurting yourself in some way. We don't want that. We don't even want to put it out in the universe. But if you're not paying attention and you're not being careful, you could definitely have a major change for yourself that will block you in your physical way, okay? And yes, this physical change will totally kind of sabotage your day, right? So your physical self could sabotage your week and ruin things for you. So this is a time to be extra careful at work, with family, and physically, okay? So be on your guard this week, okay, Capricorn? You want to be cautious, you want to be careful, all right? So here we are. Let's talk about relationships, huh? Right, so interesting that in relationships and partnerships, your overriding vibe is I'd like to be left alone. Interesting. Maybe this is that moment when you're going to go inside and look at your behaviors to see what's going on. And it's I feel also there's a comment here about you deciding what you want. What do you want? Do you want to have that person back in your life? Do you not want that person back in your life? What was good and what was bad? And what do you want to worry about better? What do you want to make happen? All right? So this is your moment to sort of check your belly buttons, figure out what your wants and needs are, what you're willing to do to get it, all that stuff. Six of Wands. Sharing your ideas at this time might be a block, okay? So sharing these ideas could be a block for you. It could stop you from getting where you want to go. We were talking about talking to your person over here, and they may or may not be on board with this nonsense, right? Everything is kind of interesting. But you're looking at new information, of course, about your love and your caring and your people. So you're going to get new information that will also feed into this story here. But you're going to use your better judgment at this time. Maybe your timing would be off if you did this week. Maybe next week you should do this. Remember, we have a lot of things going on over here, and because you know now that work and your health could be having a major kapoosh, right? A major woohoo! So we want to time your situation. Maybe do this whole conversational stuff next week. You can use your better judgment now to just say, okay, I'm going to put that off for now. You have a lot going on. So let's talk about what you might want to let go of, might want to release and move forward. We have the Eight of Cups, showing you walking away from a relationship of some sort. This could be a physical, this is just a relationship of some sort you're walking away from and saying, okay, I can't be a part of this person's life. It's no longer working for me. Maybe this is what you've come to understand with all of this belly button work over here in both your passions and your relationship situations, that you've come to realize it's better if we don't. It's just better if we don't. And you're going to walk away from that situation. There will be a financial benefit or financial, no, this is it blocking you. This is not a, I feel like a bill will come due. As you walk away from this person, a bill will come due. You know, there's going to be something that you need to pay out in order to do the walk away. Maybe I don't know what this relationship situation is, but you'll have to pay the bill and walk away, all right? So that feeds into what's going on over here, where you had something you had to just man up and take care of it and just not be afraid about it, okay? That's why you're not being afraid, is because this is all about the relationship situations. There's a lot going on here for you, Capricorn, all right? Your solution, of course, is the Empress, showing that you let the universe know what you're doing and what's going on and what you need, and it will provide, okay? So the universe will provide for you. You just have to tell it what you want and what you need, okay? Do it with a love and gratitude, okay? Because if you open up to the universe and ask it for things without gratitude or love, there's going to be weirdness. So just be aware of that and pay attention, all right? So we're going to be in gratitude when we tell the universe what we need so that we can take care of this release in our lives. I know it's weird to release with gratitude, but we can. We can let people go and say, you know what? That person was great in my life when they were great in my life, and now it's okay to let them go. I don't need to have any more to do with them, and that's okay. I'm really grateful for what they brought, and I'm grateful to let them go. Ta-da! Let's talk about travel and movement in your life. What's going on? Ooh, Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is here showing me that you're going to be put in charge of something. Reluctantly. You aren't necessarily interested in being in charge, but they're going to put you in charge anyway. Like, here, do this. You're like, oh, okay, here we go. And that's cool. You're going to sort of reluctantly take on this situation. It's going to be a lot, but I think you're going to be, obviously you're going to be able to move on it. This is all about travel and movement. And you will handle it better than you did the last time. So, huzzah. Very nice. The Eight of Pentacles shows you are going to be working. Okay, so this thing that you're moving on, you're working it. This is definitely not a negative card. This is all about things moving forward in the work department. So you will be working. We talked about the Eight of Wands over here. So the Eight of Wands and work, yeah, everything is happening here. And we have Temperance showing that you're going to go with the flow as your solution. Oh, I love that. That's going to be great. So you'll step up to the plate. You're going to start getting it together and getting things put together, and then you're going to just go with the flow. All right, cool. I'm going to handle it with grace. I'm going to handle the ebbs and flows of product to work with. We can only go so fast as the truckloads of stuff come. Da-da-da-da-da-da. You're going to work it out, and it's going to be quite amazing and lovely for you. So it's cool. I know this is a big project at work. It's spoken of over here. The question of, can you do what you're doing and still deal with family at the same time? Remember to watch your feet. Don't want you to end up in a situation where everything gets sabotaged, okay? Be careful, be cautious. What's going on over here in your ambition department? What gets you up in the morning? What's your cup of coffee, all right? What drives you first thing in the morning? We have the Queen of Pentacles. Yep. Concern about your finances and making sure that everything is working in the right direction and getting you where you need to go. Of course, that makes perfect sense to me. You're definitely in that position where things are feisty and you're working it out. Okay. We have the Wheel of Fortune showing what's blocking you. The Wheel of Fortune is your karma. Something is going on with your karma where you're standing in the way of your own success, or your past deeds are standing in the way of your current success. You can't fix, change, or alter what you did in the past. You can just accept the fact that maybe you made some poor choices and keep working towards the right answers, okay? So yeah, you probably made some poor choices in the past. You walked away from certain things when maybe they needed you the most, but you needed what you needed at the time, and you took care of yourself in that moment. And now here we are with this interesting karma where you need something and nobody else is there for you. Fussy. However, we have an opportunity to jump right into something new. You will find a new opportunity that presents itself, and whether your karma is good or bad, you're going to push forward, okay? So you've decided that your karma has no business in this situation. And you said, look, I make my own luck. Laters. So you're getting rid of all that karma bullshit and you're moving on your own. Perfect. What's going on with your friends? Who are your people? Who's your posse? What's going on with them? All right. We have Strength. So you are definitely working through some old tapes with some friends, and they have ideas about who you are or who you've been. And maybe they're remembering your 20-year-old self, and you're like, hey, I'm not my 20-year-old self. I'm different. So you're having either, I feel like you're definitely trying to break old tapes, that, limiting beliefs that other people have about you, and trying to move forward in that direction. Okay, so while it's interesting and intense to realize that, you are in a place now where it's really quite interesting. And I see you really growing up in this area and trying to say, look, this is who I am, this is what I got going on now. You want to hang out? You want to hang out? I'm cool. So there's a lot of possibilities here, all right? So now we're going to talk about what's blocking you in this department. We have Seven of Swords. Claiming your power in this situation, or the Eight of Swords. Yeah, no, you're not claiming your power in this area at all. You're stuck. You don't have any way of having any power with your friends right now, and that's okay. I think that you just reintroducing yourself as your new different self is the answer, but let them make their own decisions. You be your new self, but wait for them to catch up, you know? All you can do is present who you are today, as opposed to who you were in the past, and stay true to who you are now. And they will either catch up or they won't. And then you'll know who your real friends are, right? I know it's a little bit sucky, but you've apparently created some issues with these folks where they don't necessarily see you in the best light at this time. So we have the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is you saying, hey, well, this is just you not getting hung up on waiting for them to come up with a plan. I like that we have two things all hung up. Two things are hanging right here. So yes, you can't reclaim your power with your friends right now. They're running old tapes. You have to just be your new self. Don't get hung up on what they're doing or not doing. And just do you. Keep going. Move forward. If they choose to not accept you as you are now, then that relationship is over. Which might be what's going on here. This might be somebody you're walking away from as you realize they're not gonna make space for me to be different and grow, and that's okay. You have to just let it go. Sorry, that sucks. Let's talk about the unknown department. So the unknown department for the 3rd through the 9th of November is going to be all about a few cards that actually represent more than one area at a time, and so we want to keep them in the unknown department, then they can apply wherever they like. Okay? So, King of Pentacles. We have the King of Pentacles showing that you're worried about your money. And I feel like you're definitely worried about your money here. You're worried about your money here. We talked about your money over here with your job, of course. This is leaving something behind and movement and travel, right? And your money over here, for sure, you're kind of having some trip outs over here. So we have several areas where it applies, and I'm glad to see that there because it shows you also taking control of that situation and manning up in the department. You know, you're like, okay, here I am. I'm showing my concerns. I'm looking for good deals, and I'm working through everything. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Nice. Wishes are being fulfilled. This is terrific. This could be in the blocked department in some areas. I know that there are some things that look pretty hard. Your friend's department looks pretty hard. Your releasing department looks pretty hard. The relationship department looks pretty hard. So does work and health. So I can see how some of these areas could all turn out to be for naught, you know? Even in your passions department, it's looking pretty hard. And you may not be getting what you want in these areas, okay? So these areas could go upside down for you. And I'm sorry to say that, but it's really quite blocked. And with all the other cards happening, there's a lot happening that doesn't look like it's going to go real flowy, right? You have to do what you need to do. You have a lot of karma you're working through right now. But you're resilient, Capricorn. You're resilient to a fault. And even if one door closes or even 17 doors close, you're like, okay, 17 doors. Let me get on my bike and we're going to go. I'm going to go find me another door. This is your solution. Your solution in many areas is new doors, okay? Find a new door. Find new friends. You're already finding a new door here in your ambition department. Even as you see one is closing, you're opening another. You haven't waited around for other people. You're letting other people go. You're definitely taking care of what's going on here and stepping into the flow at work. But yeah, there's this wonderful situation here where you're going to find yourself a new doorway with the relationship and passions departments, for sure. Yeah, there's some sort of a doorway here. I don't know what this doorway will bring for you at work, in work and health, but it's going to be a big one. The family doorway looks like your best doorway here. I like that very much. And don't be afraid with your money, okay? You're going to work it out, and it's all going to be what it's supposed to be, all right? So be cautious and be careful. This is a terrific last card for this reading, for this week. Lots is going on, Capricorn. You deserve the very best, and when we discover that we were different than we thought we were in the past, we have to work that stuff through and come through on the other side, all right? So as you do it carefully and cautiously, and do what you can to get people on board with what you're working on at work, so then maybe things come out smooth in that department, all right? But we will talk more about the 10th through the 16th in next week. And of course, if you like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. This is my tiny baby channel, and I'm really trying to grow it, and it will be very clear to me if you do like and subscribe. If you want to leave comments and let me know how this reading sits with you, it will help me a lot to know what works best. If you prefer the shorter videos from 2 months ago, let me know. If you haven't seen any of those, go into the archives and check it out, because that way you'll have something to compare it to, and it will help me a lot to know if I'm on the right track or if I should change it up again, because I'm open to change. All right? Thank you so much for being here. We will talk next week. Thank you.